suffering and they're grieving, but they can say, blessed be the name of the Lord, is not
Yes.
only ultimately going to give us peace, even when we have, again, that cross being lifted at the back, but we're still carrying, it's still heavy. It will eventually give us more and more peace, but it becomes this powerful witness to evangelize others, to help others, like as you've, I'm sure, experienced in your own suffering. But I recently met with someone who's had 2 miscarriages, and she asked to meet with me because she knew I'd had 4, and she has no relatives that have lost babies, and so she feels quite isolated within her main family circle.
Yeah.
And so she just was so grateful to be able to talk with someone who knew what loss was like. And, am I glad I lost my babies? No. Would I even be glad that I lost my babies to be able to minister to her? No, because it's still a tragic loss that no one ever wants to endure. But since I can't undo the past, since I can't bring my babies back, since I can't, undo things which have already happened, then I can be grateful that God can use it for his glory and for his good, and that somehow my suffering can ease her suffering just by connection and information. I think of another time, this incredible story I heard of this couple that had given birth, stillborn, so the baby was died right before birth or right after birth, but they didn't know that, the baby was totally healthy. There's no explanation for why the baby died. But they were devout Christians, and they really believed in God. And they're like, okay, we can't always explain everything, and we are hurting, and we don't know what to say other than, blessed be the name of the Lord. And a friend of theirs who wasn't religious at all, I don't know whether he described himself as atheist or agnostic, but he came in to visit them in the hospital and couldn't get over their surrendered attitude, that even in their grief, and it was legitimate grief, it wasn't like they weren't sad, or they weren't,
they were still crying, they were, very sorry.
But there wasn't bitterness, there wasn't anger, and there was this embracing of faith. He was so moved by their witness that he came to know Christ, and within a week of that, he had an anaphylactic reaction and died.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's again, in divine orchestration of things, we don't see everything, but God works all things for good, even the crosses, even the sufferings.